Have you ever wondered how the Torah was composed? Today, we delve into a scholarly theory called the Documentary Hypothesis. The Documentary Hypothesis is a fascinating proposal that suggests the Torah, a fundamental text in Judaism, wasn't penned by a single author. Instead, it was a patchwork of multiple sources, each with their own unique perspectives and styles. These sources are often referred to as J, the Yahwist, E, the Elohist, P, the priestly, and D, the Deuteronomist. Each source exhibits its own distinct theological perspectives, writing styles, and historical contexts, contributing to the rich tapestry of the Torah. This theory challenges the traditional view of the Bible as a work of a single divine author, suggesting that it is, in fact, a composite work edited by multiple authors over time. It provides an intriguing lens through which we can view this sacred text. Let's explore the different models associated with the documentary hypothesis. First up, we have the fragmentary hypothesis. This perspective argues that the Torah, rather than being composed of distinct, neatly packaged documents, was instead pieced together from a multitude of smaller fragments or sources. Like a jigsaw puzzle, each piece contributes to the greater picture, yet remains distinctly unique. This model suggests a more chaotic and less systematic approach to the Torah's composition. Imagine a mosaic of ideas, narratives, laws, and genealogies, each piece representing a fragment of history or theological thought. These fragments, each with its own origin and context, were gathered and woven together to form the intricate tapestry of the Torah. Proponents of the fragmentary hypothesis argue that this patchwork process of composition accounts for the diverse theological perspectives, writing styles, and historical contexts found within the text. Rather than a linear narrative, the Torah emerges as a collage of voices, each contributing to the larger dialogue. This model indeed provides a unique perspective on the Torah's composition. Next, we consider the supplementary hypothesis. This model suggests that the Torah's composition was primarily the work of one source, often identified as either J or E. However, it didn't stop there. As time passed, other sources, typically P and D, stepped in and made their own contributions. These additions were not random, but were made to update the text with new laws, genealogies, or theological perspectives. Imagine an artist painting a canvas, then another artist coming in later to add more details and depth to the original work. This is how the supplementary hypothesis views the creation of the Torah. It's a theory that paints the Torah not as a static document, but as a living text that grew and expanded over time, layer by layer, source by source. While this theory may seem less structured than the traditional JEPD model, it offers a fascinating perspective on the Torah's evolution. This model offers an interesting view of the Torah's gradual growth and expansion. Now, let's turn to the fragmentary supplementary hypothesis. This model is essentially a blend of the fragmentary and supplementary hypotheses. It suggests a process of composition that is both chaotic and systematic, embracing the concepts of fragmentation and supplementation. Initially, the Torah was a quilt of smaller independent sources. These fragments, each with its unique perspective and content, were pieced together much like a puzzle. But the story doesn't end there. Over time, these fragments were supplemented and expanded upon with additional sources. This could involve the insertion of new laws, the addition of genealogies, or the integration of fresh theological perspectives. It's like building a house. You start with various materials, bricks, wood, metal, and assemble them to form the structure. Then you add on to it, decorate it, make it more functional and appealing. This model acknowledges the complex nature of the Torah's composition. Finally, we explore the revisionist hypothesis. This model shakes up the traditional JEPD theory, suggesting a different perspective. Instead of viewing the Torah as an assembly of distinct sources, the revisionist hypothesis proposes a dynamic composition process. It posits that the Torah was shaped by continuous editorial revisions and updates over time. Imagine it as a living document, always evolving, always changing. This hypothesis sees the Torah's composition as a fluid process, where earlier material was constantly edited, reworked, and updated. It's like an ancient writer's workshop, where drafts were revised and polished until they reached their final form. So, rather than a patchwork of separate documents, the Torah, according to the revisionist hypothesis, is the product of ongoing editorial endeavors. It reflects a living tradition constantly in flux, shaped by the hands of countless editors over time. This model reimagines the Torah's composition as a fluid, ongoing process. So what have we learned today about the documentary hypothesis? we've taken a deep dive into 4 primary models associated with the documentary hypothesis. Each offers a unique perspective on how the Torah, a text of profound religious and historical significance, came into existence. Firstly, we discussed the fragmentary hypothesis. This model suggests that the Torah was composed from numerous smaller fragments or sources, painting a picture of a chaotic and less systematic composition process. Then we moved on to the supplementary hypothesis. This theory proposes that one primary source laid the foundation of the Torah, with later additions or supplements made by other sources. The Torah, according to this view, underwent a process of gradual growth and expansion over time. Our third stop was the fragmentary supplementary hypothesis. This model combines elements of both the previous hypotheses, suggesting an initial composition of smaller, independent sources, which were later supplemented and expanded by additional ones. Lastly, we explored the revisionist hypothesis. This model challenges the traditional documentary hypothesis by proposing that the Torah was not primarily composed of distinct sources. Instead, it was the result of continuous editorial revisions and updates over time. Each of these models offers a unique lens through which we can understand the composition of the Torah. They highlight the dynamic and complex process that involved selecting, arranging, reconciling passages, and the insertion of new materials to form a unified text. The documentary hypothesis, therefore, challenges the view of the Bible as univocal. Instead, it demonstrates that the Torah is a composite work, edited by multiple authors over time, reflecting diverse theological perspectives and editorial agendas. This understanding of the Torah's composition opens up a plethora of intriguing insights into the text's historical context, the theological perspectives it represents, and the intentions of its many authors and editors. As we see, the documentary hypothesis offers intriguing insights into the composition of the Torah. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more enlightening discussions. Intrigued by our discussion on the documentary hypothesis and want to explore more? If you're interested in diving deeper into the mysteries of the Bible, I recommend checking out the book Secrets of the Bible from the East. This book offers an enlightening exploration of the Bible, providing fresh perspectives and insights into its texts and interpretations. It delves into the historical, cultural, and theological contexts of the Bible, making it a must-read for anyone interested in biblical studies. You can find this book on my YouTube profile, linked in the video description below. So, why wait? Embark on this fascinating journey to unravel the secrets of the Bible. And remember, the more we learn, the more we realize how much more there is to discover. Thanks for joining us today in this enlightening discussion. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such discussions. Your support helps us create more content and explore more intriguing topics. Stay curious, keep learning, and until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the past.